How are you guys doing? Kizzy Will here. We are back, and today we're going to be replacing the rear sprocket area. But before we do that, because what this is going to be doing is increasing the torque, because I told you guys after replacing this sprocket system, we did lose a lot of torque, and I would like to regain that back. So we have two of the sprockets that we're going to be trying out today to see which one gives us the most torque. But first, I want to listen to how it actually sounds with the old sprocket, and also the torque, if we can actually guess, I guess you can say guesstimate or whatnot, that's a word. I kind of guess the kind of level of torque we're going to be getting. But since this thing is up in the ramp or in the jack stand, we might not guess that well, but let's see. Power this thing on. All right, you guys can hear that fan kicking and all that. That's good. All right, have my brake. Boom. You know, this thing sounds like a motorcycle. Like, it is really loud. But I'm just trying to guess that torque to see if I can feel the difference. Because you can see that there's a lot of torque, but when there's weight on top of it, it's a little bit different. So we might not be able to completely guess the actual torque by watching this video or looking at it, unless we take it out for a ride, which is probably a better way to test this thing out. But I did want to turn it on and kind of give you guys a view of how much torque that it already has now, and maybe after I install the new sprocket, we might actually see the difference. Maybe you guys might be able to see the difference, and even if I don't. So one more time, and we do gradual now, just gradually increase the speed. You see that tire compressing in and out? That's pretty crazy. Like, I think this thing has so much power. That's why I'm always like trying to find a way to pull those power out of it. But you guys can see, like, this tire like compresses all the way down. I don't know if you guys can see it in video. I can switch this thing into slow-mo mode right now, and then we do one more run and we can look at that stuff in slow motion as it compresses. So you guys give me 1 second right now. I'm gonna pause and switch this. All right, we're switching in 120p. This should allow us to do slow motion. I just want to show you guys how this tire kind of compresses in slow-mo. I don't know what it's gonna look like when I actually slow it down, but we start off, of course, minimum. The power on this thing is very dialed in with the control, so you can go really slow, like gradually, to increasing the speed. Of course, you guys can. hope we got that in video so I can show you guys how much power that it even compresses this tire all the way. So we are gonna get to work right now, and this is with 76 volt on there. We're gonna get to work right now. We start by taking we're losing up this bolt. They're both on those sides. This is like the tensioner for the chain. So we start by just, I don't know if you guys can see where I'm pointing at right here. So we start by loosening those. So I jump straight into the work. Just gonna loosen those real quick. This is a 716 that's on the other side. This also helps with the tensioning. All right, once that's out, I have, what's this, 14 millimeter, and we're gonna go on one on each side because you need two of them to do this, to open it up. I mean, to loosen this. There we go. It was very torqued down, so but I had to make sure I'm going the right route, because sometimes depending on how I'm positioning myself, it's difficult to figure out. Alright, so we got this little bolt right here. It's out. Next thing, start pushing this side out. Now, I normally have something under here. What I'm gonna do, I have a small stool that I'm gonna put underneath. So put like a little stool underneath this area, and it's perfect so that the tire doesn't like drop like crazy once this thing comes out, because it pretty much just slides out. Alright, my washer just came out. Alright, from there, it just wiggles off the brake. The tire is down right now. So I'll show you guys. And this is the rod that goes all the way. We cannot inspect that once we bring it out. And I need to grab this washer. Yeah, like a little washer that was on the side. Alright, so the next thing right now is the tires, and we get the chain off of it. Sometimes you just roll the chain off of this. And the next thing that we're gonna do is move the stool. It's at the bottom. You just slide it out so I can completely drop this thing out and get the wheel off from it. So now we have the tire out, and the sprocket that we're gonna be changing is right there. We're gonna be replacing this. Now this thing is a little bit tricky to work on, because first you have to hold the other side with one of these range. I think 14. Is it 14? Oh, 13. Let's see. 13 it is. And then we go to this side. Start cranking it. Yeah, pretty tight on there. It's my handiwork. Okay. The first one is loose. You guys see what I'm doing? I'll make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. And two off camera, right? So you guys can see it. When I talk about electric scooters all the time about how you have to work on them, and I talk to you guys about a couple of things, that's because I have experience. I have experience in both working on electric scooter with both motors, and now with a chain drive. You know, not a lot of people actually have an electric scooter that's a chain drive. Very, very few people. And even if they do, most of the time they don't work on it on themselves. I'm one of the very few people that have the audacity, I would say the audacity, to actually drop the motor from the Hollyburn GS to replace that sprocket that's over there. Because Brad was like telling me that most people don't want to do that. That is a lot of work. But I am always up to the challenge to inspect this thing and make sure that it's cool. Alright, so now that we're losing some of this, we go round and round. Once they have loosened up, now we can start taking them out all the way. I do have some power tools to kind of make this thing quick sometimes, but sometimes I just prefer doing things by hand. It's kind of a way not to mess up bolts or strip them. So most of the time you see me just doing it the old manual way, just because it's a way for you to kind of be careful with these things. Like some of the scooters that you see, sometimes when you get them, you see that the wheels are like not aligned. They're like rotating in different ways and like wobbling and whatnot. So the time is because they're not torqued properly. Alright, now that we're here, I am going to take, this is what I do. You take the tool, then if I go, you just take the tool off of this, but I just grab an extension and stick the tool right on it, and now you just do it by hand, kind of loosening these things. It's like super easy. Just one out when I attach the bolts right on itself, and I'll put it here. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, oh wow, we just decided to start rolling. Hope you guys are having a wonderful New Year's. I know a lot of you already made your New Year's resolution about how you want to be a better person and whatnot. I hope you see that through this year, so you don't have to be making New Year's resolution every year about changing something that you're not gonna actually do. I think if every year you're making the same New Year resolution, you should just stop and just embrace who you are. Maybe you're an asshole, and every year you want to be a nicer person. Maybe that's not who you are. Just accept that you're an a-hole and embrace it 100%. Let people know this is who I am, so they can know whether they want to mess with you or not. And If you are making adjustments every year, you're becoming a better person actually, then kudos to you, man. It's tough. It's tough to change who you are. So I have a lot of respect for people that actually make that change and become a brand new person. So this is the new one. This is 34 teeth. I kind of compare this to the one that's here. Move my legs so you guys can see what's going on. Because I'm about to take out the old one. You already loosened up the screw and we can kind of compare it. See, this one is a little bit bigger and more teeth. Now, what I am worried about is, do I have to make any adjustments to my chain? Do I have to get a longer chain? We'll have to see when we put this thing on. But right now, we are going to attach this thing and see how it goes. So we're going in this way. It's the new one now. And this oil, what's all this? It's gonna wipe all that stuff off. Let's have paper towels on so wipe this shizzle off. Okay. I just line up this one with the hole right here. Then we'll start putting the screws in. Try to tighten it by hand first. This is interesting now because normally, you know, you would take it off of here and then do it. But I'll see if I can do it with this still attached. And kind of use the same system I use with this. And let's see. Just wind this, put it here. And then go underneath. Oh, it worked. It worked. You just put it on this and then put it right there. This is the first one we're gonna try. Of course, after installing this, I'll go for a test ride in a later day, and if we like the torque we're getting, we can keep it. If we don't and we want more, we can always install the other one. Get this chain a little bit over here. It's gonna be the moment of truth to see if we need to adjust this chain with the new back sprocket that's being installed. That's where it gets interesting now. Let's put the bolts on this side. Oh, if you guys didn't know what it's like on this other side of the Hollyburn GS, let me bring you guys in. Okay. I think with that light it's kind of a little bit bright for you guys to see, but it's a tight space. I was getting the bolts through this area, so once it does come, you guys saw this was the bolt that I took off on the other side. This is the washer. The washer goes in first, and then this screw does go in. And this is the screw that I tie in with the two wrench on both sides. And so we're getting the chain back on, and how you do that is once you get the top one on, hopefully this will just work, and then we start rolling it. This is how we did the chains for the bikes and whatnot, but from what I'm noticing right now, this sprocket is way bigger, and this chain might not go in as easy as I would think. Yeah, I might need to put a newer chain a newer chain on here, man. That's a crazy thing. When I was talking to Brad regarding putting a new sprocket, changing the back sprocket and putting a new one. This light is kind of too bright. Let's bring that down a bit. Yeah, about installing a new sprocket back here to regain my torque. I think you forgot to mention that, hey Kizzy, you're gonna need a new chain too, because the other one is already cut short to pretty short. So I'm not sure if even moving this thing forward is going to do anything. I can maybe show you guys how close it actually was to getting this thing. It should have came off right there. Let's do another one for you too. This is the clip. It's like super bright. But this is the clip. Now that clip is off. Bring this thing out. These links are actually pretty good. It's like it doesn't even want to come off the other one. Like, how did he get like so buried in there? Okay, so now let me show you guys. If we wrap this thing around this. That I think this camera is giving you guys the right angle. So if you wrap this thing around, you can see it's just, it's like one link short, man. One link short, and we will have a perfect tension on this thing without having to pull the chain too strong. Like, you guys can see that it's like one. So I wonder sometimes, like, why can't this thing just work out for my favor? You feel me? So what are we gonna do now? Like I said, I think the best option of what I can do is actually put a double link on this, and see how that runs. Of course, I'll test it out here now to see how it works and see if it flies out or whatnot. I do already have two brand new sets of link that I'm gonna be using. I have these clips is actually one I'm gonna be replacing the clip because I have new ones. I try not to reuse the same link, but we're gonna double link this thing right now instead of having to do a whole new chain cutting and whatnot. I'm not interested in doing that. I have a couple of the chain links here that we could probably use to link this up. I have brand new clips, so I'm not gonna be using the old clip that we have here. Run this out here. So once this goes through, you gotta add another link here. Okay, and that's all we're gonna pretty much need to get to the right length. It's just one link, and this, you need to make sure that this clip is facing the right way. Since this is going to be going this way, you want to make sure that this closed out part is facing that way. So just put this, and we're going to use the plier to press it in. You just want to make sure that it's facing the right way. Alright, snaps in there. It's the first one. So now I want to show you guys how crazy this thing is. That's all this thing needed to be at the right length. Just one link. Look at that. Now it's at the right position. Not only that, looks like it's a little bit much now. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, I saw last time it was really difficult for us to try to get this thing in there, but now still a little bit, but we can get it in now with a little bit of play at the same spot that it was in. Like, that was how Brad had this thing. It was like the chain was so perfectly precise that with the right amount of tension that he had on this thing, there wasn't any like room for play for the chain. And that's what I was trying to achieve, but for some reason with this type of chains, with this setup, it's not possible for you to achieve that. Then it's made in Japan. So we're gonna be adding the next clip. They're all facing the same way. I was asking about doing this, like, is it okay to add like 2 clips? And the guys I was asking was like, it's fine as long as you're adding brand new clips, and something like this is actually not an issue. So it takes a few tries to get it in there, but there it is now. You have the 2 clips. This is more tension then, I guess. Still want to line this tire up. Another thing some people have said to do is when it comes to lining your tire up, that you can take something, put it underneath here, and when you pull the chain, actually forward, I guess. When you pull the chain forward, it's gonna kind of add tension to make sure that the tire is aligned before you start making the full adjustments. This is just enough so I can have it in that spot. Wait, the hell is it touching? Hold on. There's something is rubbing somewhere. See my brakes? We are back. We had to make a few adjustments to the brake area. So I was telling you guys, I was hearing it was just feeling a little bit too tight. Now I'm just gonna tighten up these things. We'll check the tensioning on the chains to make sure that we're getting similar to even tension on all around. Now some area is going to be a little bit tight, but you just want to make sure that they are not too much, so it still has some play. Yeah, feels good, feels good, feels good. Like I said, I don't know if we can actually guess if we got more torque or not from just running it while it's on the jack stand, but we're still gonna try anyways, as you guys already know. Let me go ahead and calm this light down so we get better lighting on this side. I want to kind of shift the focus to the chain. It's good. All right. Let's turn it on. Hope for the best. We'll start gradually. See. That noise is, but you can hear a noise that's like going tick, tick, tick. Not sure where that's coming from. Chain is like jumping a lot. I don't know if you guys can see it. Chain shouldn't be jumping that much. I don't think so. was rubbing on that caliper. It was the brakes. The chains by jumping around. See the chains jumping up and down. I think that's definitely way more torque, because I haven't even slammed all the way down and I can already feel it, like that's not enough. We'll get back to aligning this thing, because somehow it just doesn't feel like it's completely aligned. Even though the tires are going straight, it doesn't feel like it's completely aligned. Yeah, there's more torque in there now. Next thing that I'm gonna do is torque these bolts. So I actually have a torquing wrench that I used before to torque this thing down. And let's see, I think I did about 20 pounds-foot of torque. When I was going any more than that, it kind of started behaving weird, so I backed off. Sometimes with some of these specs about torquing this thing down, you might want to back off when you feel like something might be off. So let's go in. There we go. But this is the tension as I rotate. This is the hardest part of it. You see, this is the loose part. This is like the loosest part right here. Almost feels like it's gonna swerve off. It's even more looser, you can see. But one thing I noticed is that my top chain is not moving. But I think they say that that's a good thing. You can see that. I think this is the first time that I actually feel, or I think that I've gotten this chain to the perfect tension for this scooter. See, it's going a little bit more tension there. And we just saw that tight spot, and then we see this area. All right. How you guys doing? Kizzy Will here. We are back with another video. Today we already installed the adjustments for the sprocket. So I guess today we're gonna be like testing it out and seeing how it goes, right? Just getting warmed up a bit right there. I think the torque is back. Feels pretty cold now. It wasn't that cold before, but now it's getting cold. So adjusting my mirror a bit. All right, that looks good. That looks good. Try to button up. Oh. Man, good brakes, man. Good brakes. Good freaking brakes. Like going down this hill feels like nothing. Turn on the signal. sure if I've regained all the torque yet, but I do kind of feel it a little bit. But we'll see. Oh, good. I can feel it. I feel it. I think we can even gain more torque, but like I can always install the other bigger. I can always install the other bigger one and regain all that torque. I'm not sure if this guy is turning or not.
Or the worst thing is that
today is Friday. Everybody seems to be out and about. You know, a lot of people right now are working from home. So they're mostly doing other stuff except for working. We'll go down that path right there and just kind of get a feel for this thing. I do feel a little bit of torque, like pushing, but feels good. Not bad. Yeah, like easily achieving 30 miles per hour in less than a few seconds. I guess you can call that real torque, right? I don't like all this sand on the road because I just recently lubed my chains. So I kind of don't want the sand getting into my chains. So we'll kind of take it slow where we see the sand. Let me get up in here. Thank you. We gotta wait our time. Feels interesting, man. How much battery do we have? 81. So we started our full battery. So I think we're pretty good to ride all day. That's sand right there for you. When you get control of that with a big ass tire, smash and see how fast it's gonna go in those few minutes. Like right here, I think we can kind of put it down a little bit. It was hitting, I believe, 30 something. Now, so you guys know I can go back in and I think I might need to adjust the fuel weakening, maybe change it back to about 19%. I might even leave it at 15% because I think that's what Brad told me. I'll check the messages and see what he said and then I can go from there. But man, it's good to be outside. I hope you guys are doing good. Thank you, sir. What's up with that? Just casually walking down.
There are different type of riders. There are riders that have like some real discipline, and you have to understand one thing. As you start riding these scooters, you kind of create some type of discipline, because if not, you're gonna get into a lot of practice. Achieving about 40